Guys, what's up and welcome back to the second game in the grand finals of the South American qualifiers of the Bucharest Minor. Wow, that was a lot of qualifications there. So yeah, this is game 2. Playmakers, they really ripped apart Infamous. Terrorblade going up against no real magic damage, and he kind of just took over and destroyed everyone. Let's close this box. So Infamous, it's yet another one of those games where they gave Rubik to Tomato and it didn't really work. I have a feeling it's time to stop doing that. They've run it 3 times at least so far. They've lost every single time. Just don't do it. Pretty easy solutions there. I'm Mikelorus, going to be your caster for this game, and if you are an Infamous gaming fan, they need your energy, because if they lose this game, it'll be Playmakers moving forward and Infamous just getting nothing. They actually just get nothing. Honestly though, if Playmakers win this game, they've shown that they are, like, you know, convincingly better than pretty much everyone else. It's been like every single game they've played, it's been just seemingly one-sided, except for a couple of games in the previous matchup of Infamous versus Playmakers when they met before, where the games were a little bit closer. Playmakers just seem to be a little bit ahead above everyone. I don't know what it is about this name, Faker, but apparently if you take that name, it makes you play better. That's just science right there. Because he has been an absolute all-star for the Playmaker side. That's not fair of me to say. That implies that everyone else is being bad while Faker is carrying them, and that's simply not true. Everyone at Playmakers are making their plays, and they're doing their jobs. So let's see what's going to happen in this draft. It seems like Playmakers have been kind of consistently getting the better of Envy. And we'll see what's going to happen in this game. As a Dazzle first pick is a little bit different from what we saw Infamous do in previous matches. I believe this might be their first Dazzle pick in general. So mixing something a little bit new in, and you know what? After last game, I don't mind that one bit. All that being said, Brewmaster is still in the pool. There's actually a lot of power in the pool, but you know what? They're just going to go for the Tusk. The Oracle being banned out is a little bit strange. I don't think that hero is quite first pick powerful. He's still decent, but I mean, he's kind of just okay. Tusk, are they going to Tusk Winter Wyvern? It's a really solid combo. Are they going to Tusk Grimstroke? I don't know if we've seen Grimstroke play from the Playmakers side of things. But you know what? They've got themselves a whole lot of options. I don't know if this is going to be a Tomato Dazzle. And that's kind of the beauty of Dazzle. But oh, this is a statement right here. Playmakers go Tusk Rubik. And as we saw last game, Rubik isn't particularly great versus Dazzle. Like, he's fine. He's not going to crush him or anything like that. Rubik isn't particularly great with Tusk or anything like that. Again, he's fine. I feel like this is a pick that's saying, hey, this is how it's done. Take notes. We're going to show you how to do the mid Rubik. Now, it may happen like that. It may be a support Rubik with a Tusk. Either way, I think it's pretty reasonable. But, yeah, this is not an opening that you see very frequently after having just beaten the enemies who tried to run this. Look at that. Immediate Phantom Assassin pick, immediate Terrorblade ban. Yeah, so Infamous know at this point. Envy has learned, has downloaded the game. He knows what to play around. But still, Phantom Assassin being here with Dazzle. Really nice 1-2 punch for the exact same reasons why Terrorblade is good with Dazzle. Phantom Assassin perhaps might just be better with Dazzle. Maybe isn't as good with the Grave, but is definitely a lot better earlier on offensively with the Phantom Strike into Shadow Wave. Like, that combo is very, very powerful, especially if you're jumping onto someone like Rubik. It kind of just smashes him. So, yeah, I'm kind of okay with Infamous going for this PA again. I think the hero is still fine as long as you don't run into that Terrorblade. It will require some more heavy lifting from some of these other support heroes. I think it might also be about time for them to forego any Shadow Shaman plays. Just try to get them back to earlier today. And keep in mind, guys, this is Infamous's 6th game. So playing 6 games in a row, not much of a time for breaks. It's exhausting. It really is, especially in this kind of high pressure scenario. So fatigue may be setting in for them. Playmakers, this is their 2nd game. They obviously don't have much of a fatigue issue there. So I kind of want to see Infamous just run back the Bane. Try to get back to that playstyle. Like, they were running, what, game 1 was like Bane and Mirana? and Tomato was just going off. I think, no, actually Tomato was Lina, but, you know, it was, you know, still these really kind of hard to lose the lane with heroes, with rotations coming in. PA, clearly, as we've seen in the last game, is capable of getting farm, despite not having a super amount of support. Like, she can do that, and it'll be fine. May not be the best situation for her, but she can get away with it. If they can get back to that type of gameplay style, it seemed like Infamous were really good at it. Get Tomato into the game. Actually give him a hero that he can make some plays on with a very nice, at worst, even lane matchup. And I could see Infamous pushing this to a game 3. If they end up giving Tomato another kind of sour lane matchup, then this might just be over in a hurry. Brewmaster will be the select from Playmakers. Why? Because it's freaking Brewmaster, man. Brewmaster evasion up against PA is insane, and if you don't have a BKB, you're just gonna take a trip to the air every single fight. Together with the Tusk, man, you just get that physical beatdown. Give him a hug, and just never stop slamming him. Anyone, like Phantom Assassin maybe can blink out of that. Dazzle will not be able to. That is not a good spot for Dazzle to be.
5 seconds remaining.
Playmakers are maybe taking a little bit of a BM move here towards Infamous as far as their draft is concerned. But you know what? I love it. I love it all the same. Again, showing them how it's done. I think the Poison Touch is dispellable. I don't really know if that matters. Usually Dispel Magic for a Brewmaster is just, I'm going to get rid of my Cyclone and nothing else. Maybe kill some summons if they're there. So I'd imagine it's now a little bit of a support time for the Infamous side. And as far as supports are concerned, they need some disables. Along those lines, I wouldn't mind seeing a Grimstroke. Just getting a quick silence to come out. They're going to run back Shadow Shaman. I mean, let's wipe our memory of the previous game. Let's say this is the first game. Infamous are now grabbing the Shadow Shaman as their third pick in game 1. It's not bad. Like, you need these disables to deal with the Brewmaster. Getting that ability to pressure with the Serpent Wards, it's really nice. And of course, if you shackle someone and have PA just wail on them, I mean, it's a pretty easy way of getting kills. So, you know, after all said and done, this is still a reasonable pick. But I think if you just look at the track record for Infamous, the Shadow Shaman has just been getting worse and worse for them after every single game. So, you got to take that into account. Still, having a quick Hex for a Brewmaster is really, really sweet. The Shadow Shaman may be a sign that Infamous are maybe a little bit too stuck in their existing game plan and not really taking that experimental leap. And that, I gotta say, is where that fatigue comes in. Like, if you're really tired, you're like, okay, who do you want to play? I want to play my most comfortable hero. I want to play the hero that I have been playing a lot. And that makes sense, right? Sometimes you just gotta break out of that, but it's really hard if you're tired. So Playmakers, with this Brewmaster, most likely, I want to say now Rubik in mid. And we may see that Rubik versus Dazzle mid lane matchup again. If Faker wins that one over Tomato, that is a statement. It's like, yo, I beat you as Dazzle, I beat you as Rubik. No excuses anymore, I'm just better. I don't see Shadow Shaman moving in towards that mid lane. Not really convincingly. Rubik is a pretty decent hero to rotate on. But Shadow Shaman is a little bit of a clunky hero to be doing that. As Playmakers now grab a Winter Wyvern. So, I would assume it's going to be that Tusk Wyvern support duo, Rubik Brewmaster. Kind of hold down the fort as the cores. I don't see any other way of shuffling those lanes. But now that means that Playmakers need a really heavy late game hero. Someone to really, really stick it in the late game. Because they know that they're up against Shadow Shaman wards. They're going to have their towers be pushed. So what they have to do right now is find some way to scale into the late game. Get a hero that, should that hero get farm, can give them a shot if this game goes 40-50 minutes. And I would say probably Spectre, their best bet. Medusa is a possibility as well. Although the side lanes will look a little bit weird if that happens. You can always safe lane Medusa. There's nothing wrong with that either. Winter Wyvern is just a nice little response to that Phantom Assassin. It's like, here, you're going to jump in on my target? You're going to jump in on my Rubik? No, my Rubik's embraced. And Infamous, once again, they don't have much magic damage. Dazzle's almost purely physical. Is he purely physical? He is. PA the same way. And now Beastmaster, another physical tool that Infamous have picked up. Their ability to push towers is darn scary. And if you are going to pick up someone like a Spectre, you really don't want to match up against Beastmaster. The pressure he applies to your lane is really, really high. So I like where Infamous are going with this 4th pick. I like the Beastmaster PA combo. I like the Beastmaster with Shadow Shaman. Most likely just one more support to go with that Shadow Shaman. Again, I'm looking at Grimstroke here for Infamous, and it's seemingly decent. You bind up a couple targets, get some double Shadow Shaman casting, get some double Roar action. But even outside of that, just a little bit of that Embrace. It's called Phantom's Embrace, right? Yeah, it is. So we got Cold Embrace and maybe Phantom's Embrace. Really premium tool up against Brewmaster and Rubik. And it's decent versus the others as well, but just not quite as good. The OD instead is going to be banned out. So they expect support Dazzle. Which is possible. But I guess they're just taking care of the... if Rubik's mid, it's not even like the worst matchup for Rubik. It's a matchup Rubik versus OD where he's fine. Like, there are obviously better matchups for Rubik. But it's not the end of the world.
Seconds remaining.
I mean, if this is going to be a support Dazzle, support Shadow Shaman,
5 seconds remaining.
getting another mid hero that's really able to apply that pressure. With the Beastmaster, with the Shadow Shaman... Lena's looking okay still here for Infamous. They do need some magic damage. I would say that's an alright pick. Can they Zeus? If they can get a mid Zeus, that would be pretty devastating. We only saw that one ban of him in the last game. So, oh, Visage. They can Visage here very well, actually. Not much that Playmakers have to deal with that. And Tomato does play a Visage, so I'm calling it right now. That is not a Visage. That is a Dragon Knight. But it's a little bit more so on the push train. I mean, whenever you're looking at mid pushers, it's always like DP, Dragon Knight. And yeah, they'll get the job done push-wise, especially when combined with Beastmaster. The amount of physical durability that Infamous have is very, very high. And DK is a hero that just won't lose lanes. Like, worst case scenario is up against Rubik or something like that. Whatever, man. DK doesn't care about Fade Bolt. The Phantom Lancer, though, will take to the field now for Playmakers. That's going to be their late game. Powerful late game hero for sure. But the pressure is going to be going towards his side of the map. He's going to be the one who's being pushed. If you're able to kind of apply some pressure to the PA, get her down early, that'll be great for Playmakers. Otherwise, as she gets farm, I would say against this Phantom Lancer and knowing EE's track record, probably going to be a Battle Fury build on her. Phantom Lancer illusions are going to just be wiped out in huge waves. So I'm liking where Infamous are standing right now. I mean, they have now a quite a varied set of stuns. Obviously, Shadow Shaman has his, Beastmaster, Dragon Tail being a big one. And this is a lane matchup for Tomato where, like, he doesn't have to do anything and he'll just kind of just grind out this lane. I would say there are very few situations, if any, where a Rubik is able to kill off a DK. Like, best case scenario, you steal Breathe Fire, right? Like, that's the best spell you can steal from DK. You still can't kill him. Like, you just don't have enough damage to do that. You just don't have it. Even if you do have Stinger coming in. Like, maybe with Tag Team. Maybe. But that armor from the Dragon Blood is just a kind of a brick wall. I could see Sword having a pretty nice time early on. Likewise, Pepita. It has an okay matchup versus the Phantom Lancer. But Phantom Lancer, even if his tower gets pushed, can still function halfway decently. Overall, I would say Infamous maybe with like a 55 advantage. I'm not entirely a fan right now of the Rubik v DK matchup mid. Although it could be a switch. They could throw Phantom Lancer mid lane and try to do something cute there. That's not going to be a switch. I mean, it probably isn't going to be a switch. It's not too late, but it looks like it's not happening. Yeah, everyone else is just going exactly where you would expect. At least on the Playmaker side, and probably on the Infamous side as well. Yeah. Get that Dazzle PA. A little bit of offensive power again with that PA. Phantom Strike in. Get that Shadow Wave. Pretty sweet. But in this Brawl Fest, Tusk and Brewmaster, as powerful as they may be, they are just going to be at the mercy of this Dazzle because of that Shadow Wave. Like, all these melee heroes just get obliterated by that physical nuke. They do have to watch themselves. But at the same time, Dazzle, if he gets too comfortable, and if he gets snowballed or clapped or something, like a couple of crits from that Drunken Brawler, and Dazzle is super dead.
30 seconds to battle.
Cell just camping out. What if there's any way he just sneaks this rune because they don't expect it? He just like flies over like this and he's just like yoink, and then he just gets out of there. He sees snaking. Is he actually gonna get this? No way. This is gonna be a 3-1 for Playmakers because Excel is just hiding here. Easy clap. Wonderful indeed. Playmakers with the plays, and snaking is like, God damn it. There's a taunting Winter Wyvern. The ha 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 comes out. Oh yeah. That's how you do it. Like, stealing the rune is one thing. Running away while blowing smoke rings in the face of the Shadow Shaman, like, that's style points right there. It seems like Shadow Shaman is catching up, though. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Takes one shot, whatever, man. So, yeah, that's a 3-1 boundary rune split. By the way, last game, Playmakers got all 4, I think. So now back to the top lane. Again, the Beastmaster is going to be here. We'll have some help from the Shadow Shaman, and the Phantom Lancer has to watch himself. But for the most part, not a ton of pressure going on to him, as opposed to what's happening over here. EE getting literally and figuratively tag teamed. 6 HP though, and he'll chug down a salve and survive. That's what happens when you get a little bit too close to these two guys. Again, these two guys are like built to bruise. That is 100% their job. They are going to run at you, and they're never ever going to stop. And if you get caught in that tag team kind of slow loop, how much reduced movement speed it is? 75%? That's a pretty severe slow. If you get caught in that, man, you're not escaping. Especially if you don't have Phantom Strike. So, you know, once she gets that, she'll be a little bit better off. But still, you don't really want to be using Phantom Strike expressly to escape. Especially since, once that Phantom Strike comes up, there may be a snowball to give chase towards you. In which case, yeah, you're in a little bit of a bad situation at that point. Oh, tag team, there it is. Who are they going for? They're going for Moose. Big crit, second big crit, but tag team is out of range. And now Stinger takes a little bit of damage here. Another Phantom Strike is up, but not really worth going for. And, okay. Yeah, that was bound to happen, guys. I knew that was going to happen. It was all intentional. Snaking finds a Winter Wyvern playing a little bit too aggro in this top lane. Winter Wyvern's going to return, but yeah, Shadow Shaman having a huge level 1 nuke. 140 is way above average. I think it might be like the highest nuke, as opposed compared to, like, you know, maybe Edict does more from like Strack. It's all on one target, something like that. It's an absolute nut spell just to harass with. Fairly expensive. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and kill himself. Don't do it, Snaking. You have so much to live for. Too much fun watching this bottom lane. What's happening over in mid? Faker is slightly out CSing Tomato. But again, this is not a situation where Tomato is ever going to die. 2 points in the Dragon Blood. That is just infinite survivability up against the Rubik. Probably just going to be a big old grind fest over in that mid lane. And, oh, big physical nuke from Moose. But he gets hit with an even bigger nuke from that crit from Sword. Yeah, they went into a melee creep wave, and that's why their health tanked so quickly. But hey, Snowball is up. Snowball lets them have free access onto the Dazzle, who does not have Grave. Everything is once again back up. Are they going to just jump for the Dazzle one more time? Immediately they go for it. No hesitation at all. And Moose gets a really big heal bomb. But it doesn't matter because he's dead. Now EE takes the big crits. Tag team will wear off. And EE has another dagger. That will not get the kill though. 4 seconds. He can strike and jump in. But it actually was the poison touch. Didn't realize that was applied to the Tusk, so he'll die to the dot. 1-for-1 trade over in that bottom lane. And, ooh, the Phantom Lancer getting chased down by an entire zoo of creatures here. He'll be fine. This early game, at least, is a lot more contested by the Infamous side. Their lanes are looking a lot stronger. They could actually fight back reasonably well. Namely from this mid lane, which is not a dead lane for Infamous. It does seem like, you know, maybe Infamous are one of those teams that live or die by their mid lane. This is when Tomato's hot. He's very hot, as we've already seen. Like his Mirana game earlier, that was insane. When he's cold, though, he is very, very, very cold, as we saw in last game. So, just hope he's hot, I suppose. Snowball in, EE, takes one crit, takes a couple of extra slows from the tag team, but looks like he should be fine. Shards come out just a little bit too late. No real blockage there. What is this cooldown looking like? The cooldowns are pretty low. 15 seconds. Is someone dying up here? Yeah, someone is dying. And it's going to be the Phantom Lancer. Has a doppelgang, but he can't get it off in time. Going in a little bit too deep onto that Shadow Shaman, and once again got you baited. These cooldowns are really low. Like, they could make that roll in every single time it's up. Like, every 15 seconds, so you have tag team. Mana-wise, it's not that expensive either. Like, Tusk doesn't have shard mana, but Brewmaster has enough for a clap and a brawl. Plus a million wand charges. That certainly doesn't hurt. Rune Race looks like... Oh, Moo. No, it's actually not going towards Moo. It's going towards Envy. Do they have shards? Doesn't matter. Envy doesn't really have much to jump towards. He's going to blur. Now they turn around and just corner Moo with the tag team and the shards. One more shot. There it goes. The Dazzle's down. Man, this is a devastating combo. This is absolutely backbreaking. And again, because the stifling dagger spam is something that Phantom Assassin's always going to do, you don't have to worry about running out of mana. At least you don't have to worry often about running out of mana. Snaking, pushing forward. Really wants to use these level 2 shackles on someone, anyone really. And there is an initial hero here in the form of the Dazzle. The physical nuke, though, does get dodged. The Phantom Lancer going to split away that poison touch, and now it's kind of an empty rotation. Honestly, Dazzle wasn't really helping that much in the bottom lane. He was kind of just feeding. So him being here is, I suppose, a little bit helpful. They may be able to dive here, but it's going to be not super easy. They will have the vision if they want it from the bird. This Phantom Lancer, he has 1 point doppelgang, can make a kind of a path through the trees here, or just chop his way in. Looks like he'll opt for the latter. And that's the full tri-lane, and I mean, they can apply some pressure. Level 2 aura is pretty devastating with the siege creep, but it is a reinforcing TP coming in. So Faker with a haste rune. He can grab Snaking, yank him up. Nope, just nuke him down. Okay. Hey, he doesn't have enough mana for all 3 of them. So bouncing the Fade Bolt into Breathe Fire. That's a slick kill, and he's just going to gallop all the way back towards mid. Easy rotations for this Rubik. Doing very, very well for himself. But at this time, he's doing well for himself, not at the cost of Tomato. Like, Tomato's still A-okay. How much damage did he put on the tower? Not much. And we got Stinger on the move here. I wonder how much tag team you actually get. I mean, it will be really good if you can partner up with that Phantom Lancer. His attack speed is pretty nuts. But, yeah, I'm not really sure if it's like... Now, there's sometimes you just don't get tag team if the enemies have a lot of mobility. PA, DK, like these physical durable heroes might make it so that tag team isn't a super high priority for leveling. As of right now, Phantom Lancer doing fine for himself. Slightly better than EE. Although, I would expect, again, PA to be going for that Battle Fury. In a more or less standard EE build. Oof, there was a creep wave there. It got very quickly dealt with. Breathe Fire level 4. Fade Bolt level 4. How much? Minus 49. Oh my god. That is just obnoxious, man. Like, have fun last hitting with that. They're still just shoving this tower in. Lots of easy chip damage onto this Phantom Lancer. And he's low on restoratives, and by that I mean he has none. They are leaving Sword to his own devices on the bottom lane. As I said earlier, I can very easily see this Brewmaster kind of get out of control here. He already level 6 with Phase Boots, so any one hero that goes into this bottom lane should not be able to contest him. Especially since he has a split. So the fact that he's going for a Hand of Midas into a Radiance, very rarely seen Brewmaster build, but you know what? Considering this situation, where he's freely managing this bottom lane, I'm down with it, man. This seems like a sick build. Like, just get nuts, farm, and then just be another threat. Because even though, like, usually as even core Brewmasters progress through the game, they start to become more and more just a walking Primal Split. When you're not Primal Split, you can still do a lot of things. Like, you still have that Drunken Brawl, you still have that Brew. that he is the master of. But, ooh, this is not what Rubik wants to see. Although he's going to get a fat set of nukes onto both these two. Decrease their damage by quite a bit. Here comes a snowball onto Snake King, stunning him up. Faker, he's going to get the lift up, stun even more. The damage from this Rubik, he is going to have a grave to cast on himself. Split coming in as well. Snake King will fall. Faker does have the poison on him. He will tick down to it. I don't think they have enough to kill off Tomato. They do have him stuck in a corner. They're doing literally no damage because +9 armor, lol, good luck. It will be Tomato to resume his laning phase and Sword to resume his main form. But for a Rubik to actually turn that around and get a kill after all said and done, oh, snaking. That is not where you want to be, surrounded by Smurfs. And not the happy kind either, the angry kind. Pepita even getting dashed at a little bit. So yeah, what should have been just a free pickup on a Rubik, because you're just walking up high ground, turned into a little bit more of an even exchange. Roar. Winter Wyvern has no embrace. And even if she did, I don't think there was any escaping from that pig. So an easy snipe of the Winter Wyvern. A little bit of room service there for Beastmaster. Move nowhere, still get kills. Easy game. What's going on here? Haste Rune for Brewmaster. Hand of Midas, very close to completion. What has Envy been doing? Envy's been chilling in the jungle. These stupid golems don't know what's happening. You guys know when you're playing, like, Skyrim or something, and you're a sneak archer, because of course you are, and you land a crit on someone, and they're like, oh, what was that? And you're just standing there, and they're like, oh, it must have been nothing. That's exactly this. That's literally this. Gotta cut down on the ale. I'm starting to see things. Don't pretend like you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Don't pretend you guys played Skyrim and went for something that's not a sneak archer. Because I know you're lying if you say that. Big smoke up. Is there another split? Not yet. There is a haste rune though. And that actually gives them a chance of killing off this DK. But DK has backup. DK's backup might be a little bit too far away. Snowball's going to come in. And immediately is down to below half HP. Lifted up as well. Look at all those debuffs on him. Granted, most of them are tag team. Moo's going to arrive, but he should not be here. He cannot outrun this tide. And that'll be a double kill. Picked up, both of them actually, by this Rubik. On top of the net worth chart. And you know that statement I was mentioning earlier? That, hey, we're going to beat you with your own hero type of thing? It's working out so far. Even if they don't end up winning this game, like, Faker showed off how to do the Rubik mid. You gotta make those rotations. Gotta get something good to steal, you gotta move around, gotta apply that pressure. This Arcane Supremacy. 36 debuff amplification. Get that huge telekinesis stun duration. And if he's able to steal, like, a Hex or something like that, a Dragon Tail, a Roar, would be super premium. And Envy, he is now in a little bit of trouble. Oh my god, the burst damage. Fade Bolt Breathe Fire, like, instantaneously chunks him down. In the meantime, we have Phantom Lancer just chilling, but he does see Pepita. And, I mean, you could roar him, but you have no backup. And now Pepita is a little bit surrounded, so he's got to be careful. Well, there's not much mana here, so, the Tusk, rather, not incredibly dangerous. Sword is just chilling over in the mid lane. I mean, Hand of Midas attack speed when you're working with crits from Drunken Brawler. That hurts, man. That hurts a lot, even if you are someone like a DK or a Beastmaster who's supposed to be resilient versus that type of damage. Fade Bolt, Breathe Fire. Creep Wave is dead. They do drop their Serpent Wards, but it looks like a lot of gold to me. Oh, Serpent Ward stolen. Oh, that's not good. So, I mean, they may not get this tower, but you know what? I'm pretty sure Faker is going to be crying all the way to the bank, because this represents a free tower. Like, he used a 25 mana spell to get a tower. Seems pretty good, man. Seems really good. And if they drop Serpent Wards right here, they'll see Pepita, and then he will just be so completely boned. Roar goes off. Shards go way too far. And Pepita does kind of just get himself out of there. They drop the Serpent Wards, by the way, on that tower. And look, the Snake Civil War. Leave it to snakes to be turning on each other, right? Easy tower pickup. Now Sword even gonna go for a Radiance. Oh man, in the meantime, Phantom Lancer be chilling over in mid. He's got the Diffusal Blade in the works. Nothing too out of the ordinary for PL. And Envy Still just trying to gun towards that Demon Edge. Get that Battle Fury going. We've seen this time and time again for MV. Falls a little bit behind. Maybe not as far as this. But with the Battle Fury, he's able to really skyrocket his farm. Especially if his team creates some space for him. They have the disables necessary in order to do that. They have an abundance of disables in this game. And Excel, fly away. Fly away and D-ward at the same time. They just have to find an opportunity to use their disables, while at the same time, not get jumped. Because this is not a good look for Pepita. Split out. Splinter Blast going to slow down Pepita even further. They drag him back. Look at this Brewmaster with the Wind Panda. Gets rid of the Grave. Now looking to focus down the Beastmaster afterwards. Cyclone will wear off Pepita. Now Graveable, if that's a word. Which it probably isn't. It wasn't going to go down anyway, actually. So it looks like that damage just wasn't quite there. Only a level 1 split right now. What do you guys think? Is graveable a word? It means able to be graved. Probably not going to find that in the dictionary. But it's in the dictionary of Dota. Snaking. Oh, you just took Stinger's rune. And there is also a PA nearby. Run, EE, run. Alright, looks like that's a pretty nice rune sweep. And actually, no, it's a 2-2. Two bracers, power treads into Radiance for DK. Don't mind that build. It's not really a super common build, but I mean, if you're just gonna sit in the middle of a whole bunch of Phantom Lancers, you want Radiance more so than you want any other item as DK. So I can see that getting a lot of value. Plus, I mean, just look how tanky he is. Almost 20 armor. Or sometimes 20 armor. Sick regen, 23. He's going to be in those fights for a very long time. Unless, he just gets swarmed with tag team hits, which is a possibility. They're still pinging out for Pepita right now. There's no scan, though, so they can't really find him. And EE, he's just sneaking about. Classic sneak archer. Hex goes off onto Sword, though. He's going to try to... No, he actually doesn't even have split. He's going to get the evasion off. And the Embrace. So these Serpent Wards now doing no damage. As Stinger's going to isolate Moose. A little bit of slow. And the Walrus Punch, oh my god, just destroys him. They curse up the Shadow Shaman as well. Just to keep him in place. Faker misses his Fade Bolt, but that's okay. Still got him. Double kill for the Rubik. They do lose the tower. Radiant destroys it. So at least they get their objective. And yeah, it costs them a handful of heroes, but they're just supports. To take a tower, that's worth it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Unless this also happens at the same time. If they make a tower trade, ultimately, that ain't worth it. Tier 1 for Tier 2 is never worth it. Tier 1 for Tier 2 and 2 heroes? Terrible deals, man. Terrible, terrible deals. Speaking of, Pepita did not sign up for this. Tag teamed now. Windwalk for the extra damage. He's gonna get the roar out onto a Wind Panda. That seemed like an, oh shit, I'm dying, I better cast something type of move. Because there was no point in that, really. Now Moose hit with that Diffusal Blade. And you can see that restraint from the Phantom Lancer. He knows that if the real one gets caught, if there's a DK or a PA sitting right here, he can very easily go down, so he backs off. Blink Dagger. Thinking about Kaya, thinking about Yule Scepter. A very mobile build, though, from the Rubik. Like, he's kind of just designed to go everywhere and... Ooh. Easy escape. Just be everywhere at the same time. Be that persistent threat. Make the enemies constantly guess, where is this Rubik going to turn up next? Compare that to last game. The Rubik mid went, I think the same boots, Null Talismans, but went straight Yule Scepter. Which is not a bad item, but it just takes a little bit more time to really get built up. Like, as Rubik, being able to be in the right spot, that's pretty much the entire hero. You just don't want to be in the front. So if you are in the front, you want to have the mobility, the tools in order to get into the back of the fight. And Tomato showing off that Radiance now. Can they kill this guy off? Okay, they're not really sneaky anymore. I don't know how this melee creep still survived. Pepita shoving up top lane. That's what Beastmaster does really, really well. Problem is, though, this 5k lead from Playmakers is doing nothing but slowly increase in their favor. I mean, it helps that they have a Hand of Midas and almost a Radiance of their own on the Brewmaster. His farm is going to be just absolutely out of control. I don't know if you still go for these, like, Primal Split-based talents. If you have a build that's this fat, like, you're still going to be using Primal Split. But 100 attack speed with Radiance damage, yeah, you know, there's at least an argument that can be made. I don't know if there's ever a situation where you go for the left talent on 20 here. It's really good. Like, 100 attack speed is a lot of attack speed. Especially when you're talking, again, about crits that are just going to be coming even faster. But, you know, your split is pretty important, and you don't want them to die. Because if they die, you die. Speaking of dyings, what was that delay? Now up on the high ground, maybe they have a chance to give him a little bit of save. They do with the Embrace. Split is out. They hesitated, and now they're going to get punished. The Phantom Assassin lifted up. Grave going to keep her alive for just a little while longer, but I don't think she's getting out of here. She will try to Phantom Strike out, but the Fire Panda's right on her. She'll burn down. It is going to be a split up fight every which way. Pepita is going to get dropped. It will be in exchange for the Tusk, but it's still this Brewmaster and Rubik in the background, just laying waste to everyone from Infamous. Now clap onto 2. Tomato teleports out. No telekinesis. He will escape. But that was a weirdly hesitant move from the Beastmaster. Like, he saw him and he's just like, yo, what up, man? Then he let him get to the high ground, just a little bit closer for that save from the Winter Wyvern, who is teleporting in. Because, obviously, like, you see the Tusk, he sees you too. That split just destroyed them as well. Like, being able to drop the Phantom Assassin that quickly, forcing out a Grave, and especially in that position, like, there are no creeps to jump to here. As Phantom Assassin, if you're locked in this area, you're locked in that area, you're going to fight to the bitter end. And the end was, in fact, bitter. Now Playmakers pushing their lead even further towards that 10k mark. In the meantime, it's going to be a tag team Tusk brawl in Roshan. 793 crits here from Sword. That's pretty disgusting. I mean, he's got the Radiance picked up as well. And as PA, you really don't want to be missing. You do not have that luxury. What is going on? Okay, they're leaving to kill the pigs, bring back the bacon, killing birds, killing all sorts of woodland creatures. They want this big woodland creature, we can even call it. Look at these buffs. I love this. It like is so ridiculous looking, but I love it. By the way, yesterday, a big reason why Playmakers actually got to the grand finals to begin with was because of Excel's Winter Wyvern. Like, his curse was pretty much getting kills whenever he dropped it, and the Embrace was just there every single time. And we can see how powerful of a tool it is against Infamous. Like, they are vastly, vastly in the physical damage, I'm gonna right-click you type field, and uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't kill your Dazzle like that. Oh, he's just gonna die. Now the split is out. DK is taking that Radiance burn damage, lifted up, what's stolen, Elder Dragon form for Faker, and they're just gonna right-click him down. Like, there's no escape here for Tomato. He's gonna try to turn on his dragon brother, but he's not gonna get out of there. Over in mid lane, looks like someone was able to TP out. Looks like Snaking was able to escape the Phantom Lancer somehow. But the Phantom Lancer still is kind of on the chase here because EE is in the area with the Heart and an Aegis. Phantom Lancer doesn't really have much to fear, but he will be a little bit cautious, seeing as though his backup is nowhere to be found. Oh, look at this. It's so adorable. You get the Fire Dragon, you get the Ice Wyvern. And Rubik gonna go for that Aghanim Scepter. And there's not really much to Aghanim Scepter increase. It's all just kind of okay. But you get the 2 seconds, how much reduction is it? 14 seconds cooldown reduction? That's a lot of reduction, man. Especially when you're stealing spells. Get him sneaking. Buy your space for your allies. Gets himself a decent chunk of gold by doing that, but problem is that Playmakers are still just closing in this map. This Brewmaster is so competitive in the farm, and I think the more surprising thing is that Faker's pretty competitive in the farm as well. He's been able to steal AoE pretty consistently, namely this Breathe Fire. So like he just instantly kills creep waves there, but Damn, this Brewmaster is ready to just beat some people down. And he has found a beatdown target. Can these two kill off Tomato? Radiance is on him. He should know it. Breathe Fire stolen. And now they're going to cut him off. He is going to pop the Elder Dragon for him. Do they want it? They can't even get it. Dragon Tail and run away. This is going to be a chase of epic proportions. Hanamitis value? Hanamitis value? Sword, get the Hanamitis value. The kill can wait. Lift up. Throw him down. They have another clap. And with the Cinder Brew on him, I don't think the DK is getting out of here. Did he Hanamitis? He didn't. Come on, Sword. Come on, Sword. How do you expect to win with that Hanamitis value? What is going on here? Envy, half HP with the Phantom Lancer on his tail. They will roar the PL, keep him at bay for a little while. Now the Hex was off under the tusk, but the Embrace is going to keep Stinger in fit fighting shape as Rubik's going to show up. Dragon Tail is going to be used on nothing. I think he missed it, but EE either way is still in a lot of trouble as he has a Phantom Lancer on his ass. You can blur all you want. Phantom Lancer eventually is going to hit you. Dragon Tail kind of sucks as a steal, honestly. Super low range. But it doesn't last forever because of Arcane Supremacy, so that's kind of cool. 6-22. This is looking exactly like Game 2 between Well Played and Infamous earlier. Snaking, trying to be cute, and I don't think he's getting out of this one. So yeah, trying to be cute, but that's about all it is. Wonderful indeed. This is going to be a 2-lane push here from Playmakers. Looking to put Infamous in the garbage can right now. Still with this Aegis, and they're just going to dash right in. They may not be able to kill the DK with the Phantom Lancer. Just deplete his mana pool, force him back to the fountain. He doesn't even have his Elder Dragon for him. He's not a threat right now. And there is a split here from the Brewmaster. They are splitting their focus. If they were all in mid, rest assured this mid Rax would be down. Or all in one of these lanes. So they're going to try to go for it all at the same time, which is a little bit greedy. Excel is going to embrace himself. Eternal Envy kind of stuck in the trees right now. He really doesn't want to be back there. He's going to have to jump out as they do curse up the Beastmaster just to get Excel out of their EE now. Versus the Phantom Lancer, he's going to break through all those trees, and now it's Eternal Envy swarmed by Smurfs. Once again, he's dropped. The split is out, and they're going to swamp Pepita next. Another Grave will keep Pepita alive, and they're going to turn on to whoever they can find. Tomato, he's going to get hit with the Shadow Amulet, so he's going to survive for a little while longer, but the Dazzle might not be as lucky because the Radiance is there. GG congrats is called. And in 2 disgustingly one-sided games, Playmakers show off their power and are going to the minor. It is a shame that these last couple of games, I mean, the last kind of 4 games were all really one-sided. But honestly, like, look at what Playmakers did versus WP yesterday, versus Infamous yesterday, versus Infamous now. I don't know what it is about that mid lane, but Faker, he has Tomato's number every single time. And this game, as well as some previous game from Playmakers, Sword, you know, an absolute all-star on the Brewmaster, pretty much everyone on Playmakers just doing everything they should. Perhaps Infamous are a little bit too stuck on some of these heroes. I like their mix-up of Beastmaster DK. It just seems like they may be a little bit too high on Phantom Assassin. I think they're really, really high on Shadow Shaman, and they really shouldn't be that high on them. But regardless of what excuse you can conjure up for Infamous, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's still going to be 2-0 for Playmakers. The only 2-1 match we had was Playmakers versus Infamous. So I guess that shows the quality of the South American teams, at least in this qualifier. Playmakers are comfortably on top. So they're going to go to Bucharest for that minor. I don't even know when that is. When is this? January 19th. No, January 9th. January 9th. So they're going to go to the minor. But guys, we are done here for the day. I sincerely hope you all enjoyed these games. I apologize for any internet issues that we've experienced in that time. But you know what? It happens. If you guys did enjoy the games, well, you know what? I just gave you the dates, so tune back in and watch the actual minor in about a month. If you guys enjoyed the casting, hit me up on Twitter at Mikelorus. I'll be in the chat, chilling with you guys, watching the end of the game again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. GG.